A very warm good morning to all of you, my dear student of class 8A. And I am teaching you history right now. Before that, I used to come before you and make videos for you people. But by today, what I have started using to take the help of audio recorder, and at the same time important things, important pages will be displayed on your screen, and you will able to solve it. Now, as you all know that yesterday I have told you that what information we did not get from official sources, what are those things. So with this heading, this chapter ends also now. What official records do not tell. I was telling you this heading, what official record do not tell. And with the help of this, with the end of this heading, we have finished approximate this chapter also. Okay. And I have told you yet, I have already finished this chapter as far as I think. Okay. So today what we will do, we would like to go to symbol by symbol. I will like to explain these images also, what these images are saying to us, and then we will move towards our exercise. Now page number 1, we come to know that how important are date. In this page, in this heading, we have a image right now. See what has been written. Brahmins offering the shastras to Britannia. Okay. uh, Brahmins offering the shastras to Britannia, frontispiece to first map produced by James Rennell, 1782. Underline this point. Okay. Now Brahmins are in this image that is shown, that Brahmins are just handing over the offerings to Britannia. Now Britannia, what do you mean by Britannia? I mean Britain. Britannia means the people of Britain, the sovereignty of Britain. Okay. Frontispiece to the first map produced by James Russell, 17, and such a kind of map is being such a kind of things is being presented by James Rennell in 1782. Now we will study a little bit about Rennell also. Rennell was asked by Robert Clive to produce map of Hindustan. An enthusiastic supporter of British conquest of India, Rennell saw preparation of maps as an essential to the process of domination. Now we would like to learn little bit that who was Robert Clive. Actually, Robert Clive was a what should I say? Robert Clive was a Governor General of, earlier it was in Madras, but later on he was sent to Bengal and he fought a great battle of Plassey. You know Plassey, it is in Nadia district on the bank of river Ganga, and on the bank of this river, this famous battle of Plassey was fought between Robert Clive and the Nawab of Bengal, who was at that time Sirajuddaulah. Okay, so Rennell was asked by Robert Clive to produce map Hindustan. So Robert Clive ordered Rennell to produce the map of Hindustan. An enthusiastic supporter of British conquest over India, Rennell saw preparation of maps as essential to the process of domination. The Rennell thought that if we'll prepare a map, then it will become very easy for us to conquer India. The picture here tries to suggest that Indians willingly gave over their ancient text to Britannia. And the picture that is above shown, now it is showing us that Indians, the Brahmins, willingly handed over their essential things, their ancient text to Britain people, so that they can control India. The symbol of British power, as if asking her to become the protector of Indian culture. Now, in this symbol, what that lady that is being symbolized, this is the symbol of British power. Again, I say British domination, British sovereignty. And now Brahmins are handing over their text. Text has been represented here as culture, and Brahmins have been represented here as Indians. So Indians are handing over their culture to Britain people, to Britishers, Why? Because they think that now only those are the people who will save their, I mean, who will save their culture, who will save their power, who will save their country. So in this simple figure we come to know that how Britishers were being treated by Indians. So this is an important figure. Then another figure that I would like to discuss, that is Lipton's tea. Lipton's tea. Advertisements help create taste. Okay, now this is a very practical question of our from our people being that advertisement help create taste. Okay, now several times in such a kind of things takes place in our life that we purchase the thing on the basis of its advertisement. And suppose that we have to purchase tea, then 100% we will take the tea of Brook Bond tea on red label tea, okay, or some other tea. Why? Because we go on the praise of their advertisement. On the basis of their advertisement we go and purchase tea. Okay, suppose that we have to purchase a TV, then we will prefer Videocon, we will prefer some important Sony, LG. Why? Because we always confess that because it is a very advertised brand, so then it will be working effectively and it will be good for us also. So now see what is the role of advertisement. Advertisement make your way of trade and commerce very easy. If your advertisement is good, then 100% your things will be very easy. Old advertisement help us to understand how markets for new products were created and new tastes were popularized. This 1922 advertisement for Lipton tea suggests that royalty all over the world is associated with this tea. Now, Lipton tea is a brand of Britain. Okay, tea brand. And what I want to say that in the world where Lipton tea was uh, tested by people, then it was understood that this area comes under British influence. I mean, this Lipton tea became a symbol of influence for the whole British Empire in all over the world. Once where Lipton tea was tested, drunk, taken, then it was understood that this area or this particular area comes under the influence of Britishers. Okay. This 1922 advertisement for Lipton tea suggests that royalty all over the world is associated with this tea. In the background, you see the outer wall of the Indian palace. You know, the outer wall of Indian palace, while in the foreground, seated on horseback, is the third son of Queen Victoria of Britain. Now, on who is seated on this horse? On the back of this horse, third son of Queen Victoria of Britain, Prince Arthur, who was given the title Duke of Connaught. He is also being titled as Duke of Connaught, and he is the third son of Queen Victoria. And so by such a symbol we come to know that the once where this tea was tested, it was understood that whole area is under British influence. Now we come to on this figure, the third figure. Okay, again we come to Kolkata. Warren Hastings became the first Governor General of India in 1773. Underline this point. Warren Hastings, actually before 1773, there was three presidencies: Calcutta presidency, Mumbai presidency, and Chennai presidency. But in 1772, a rule was made, and according to that rule, the Governor General of Bengal was considered the Governor General of India, and the other two governors were brought under his influence. So the Governor General of Bombay, and the Governor General of Chennai came automatically under the influence of the Governor General of Bengal. And fortunately, at that time, Warren Hastings was the first Governor General of India, because at that time he became the Governor General of Bengal in 1772, and in 1773 he was declared as the first Governor General of India. While history book narrated the deeds of Governor Generals, biographies glorified them as persons and paintings projected them as powerful figures. And in this book, we will also learn that what are the deeds and activities of various kind of Governor Generals, what are the is what about their biographies that glorified them as persons and painting and projected them as their with their powerful nature. So by painting and projects, we come to know that they were very powerful people, and through their biographies, we would come to know that they had been glorified as a person. And in history books, what do we get? We get information about their conducts and activities. So these things are here. And now what we would like to move the page number 5, move on page number 5. Now see, there are two things: reports to the home department. This is a small story, source 1, source based question. So this is source 1 of you people, and a small story extract question is there. In 1946, the colonial government in India was trying to put down a mutiny that broke out on the ships of the Royal Indian Navy. What was Royal Indian Navy? The Navy soldiers that worked used to work under the influence of British Navy. Those Indian people were called Royal Indian Navy. So in 1946, I mean, a small mutiny broke out on the ships of the Royal Indian Navy. Here is a sample of the kind of reports the Home Department got from different dockyards. What happened there? Some reports are there. In Bombay, arrangements have been made for the army to take over ships and establishment. Royal Navy ships are remaining outside the harbor. So बॉम्बे में क्या हुआ? What happened in Bombay? Arrangement have been made for the army to take over the ship and establishment. Now when Navy revolted, then it was announced that now army will take over the charge, and they are responsible for the protection of ship and dockyard. It was the condition of Bombay when, at the time of revolt in 1946, by whom that revolt was conducted? That revolt was conducted with by the soldiers of Royal Indian Navy. Then second point is Karachi. 301 mutineers are under arrest, and a few more strongly suspected are to be arrested. All establishments are under military ground. Again, in Karachi, it was also a mutiny of people at the same time. So what happened? 301 mutineers are under arrested, and for more strongly suspected are to be arrested. I mean, there the arresting was taking place and going on, and the whole area was handed over to army. Then Vijayapatnam, the South India. The position is completely under control and no violence has occurred. Military guards have been placed on ships and establishment. No further trouble in accepted except the a few men many refused to work. And what was the most cool condition was in Vijayapatnam. There was no sign of any revolt. No revolt was taking place over there. And what happened? The military guards have taken over the charge there, and only a few workers denied to work. Apart from that, there was no chance of, rebel. So among these three sources, we came to know these three places were actually mainly the main sources for the navy places of British Empire. Number one, Bombay. Number two, Karachi. Number three, Vijayapatnam. So the most violent trouble was in Bombay, then less than Karachi, and then the most least in Vijayapatnam. So this is the report from the Director of Intelligence Headquarter Indian Command. Situation report number 7, file number 5 upon 21 upon 46, Home Political Government of India. So this is an important report also. Then we come to the below one. The National Archives of India came up to 1920s. This is the National Archives. I told you archives, the record room, those are called archives. And the National Archives was made in the year 1920s. When New Delhi was built, the National Museum and the National Archives were both located close to Viceregal Palace. Viceregal Palace. This location reflects the importance these institutions had in British imagination. Now we come to custard apple plant 1770s. Botanical gardens and natural history museums established by the British collected plants, specimens and information about their uses. Now Britishers came to our country and they established some natural history museum and some botanical garden in our country also, and some specific, herbs, specific plants were being protected over there, produced over there. And what was the main responsibility? The main responsibility of the people and the government was to protect those specific culture, specific herbs, specific botanical aspect of India that was unique in nature at that time. Local artists were asked to draw pictures of these specimens. Historians are now looking at the way such information was gathered and what this information reveals about the nature of colonialism. And historians are interested to gather the source of its in this kind of information and the impact of these things over the colonialism. All the people are interested to know about that. Then the next thing, mapping and surveys operation in process in Bengal. This is also very important heading. We will little bit make it small. Now we will read mapping and survey operations in progress in Bengal, a drawing by James Prinsep. Now this has been designed. This drawing has been made by James Prinsep. He was a great British citizen, and in that map, what he had shown in this design image, what had he shown, that mapping and survey operations in progress in Bengal. Okay, mapping is going on, survey is going on. Note how all the instruments that were used in survey are placed in the foreground. Now on the no, I mean foreground, we can see that the equipments about mapping and survey are being kept over there, and they emphasize the scientific nature of project. And by these equipments, we come to know that at that time the survey and mapping was conducted in a very scientific manner. So this is also an important figure. Then we come to know about the rebels of 1857. Figure number 7. The rebels of 1857. Images need to be carefully studied for the project, the viewpoint of those who create them. 100%. While we study that, the only, administrative record does not tell the whole things. Then the rebels of 87, this image has been given over there. Images need to be carefully studied for the project, the viewpoint of those who create them. This image can be found in several illustrated books produced by the British after the 1857 rebel. This particular image that has been, that appears on your mobile screen. It can be found in many books. This image can be found in several illustrated books produced by British after the 1857 rebellion. It means this is the image of 1857 rebel. Okay, the captain at the bottom says that mutinous sepoys shared the loot. Okay, loot means, what do you mean by loot? Loot means loot ka mal, the thing that is being looted. So the goods of loot is shared by the Indian sepoys. Okay, mutineers sepoy. In British representation, the rebels appear as a greedy, according to British people. Now what do they want to share? They want to show that Indians mutineers and Indian sepoys were very cruel in nature. They killed people, and then they shared the all the goods of loot. They shared among themselves, and they were not in good in nature. In British representation, the rebels appear as greedy, vexatious, and brutal. You will read about the rebellion in chapter number 5. Okay. Then what is the next heading? Not fit for human consumption. Newspapers provide accounts the movements in different parts of the country. Here is a report of a police strike in 1946. In the year 1946, a police strike was made. So here is an report, and the heading of report is not fit for human consumption. More than 2,000 policemen in Delhi refused to take their food on Thursday morning as a protest against their low salaries and the bad quality of food supplied to them from the police line kitchen. Now, what happened? The sipais of police that were Indians people, they revolted against Britishers. They did not, they totally rebelled, rebelled against the salary, low salary and the bad food quality that was provided by police line kitchen, and they revolted against them, and they did not take any food. They refused to their food on Thursday morning in the year 1946. What was the total number of people? The total number of people was 2,000. Then in the next paragraph, as the news spread to the other police stations, the men there also refused to take food. And once the news spread in all over the other police station of Delhi and other states also, so all the police people, police persons, police constables, those were Indian in nature, they refused to take any food. Okay. One of the strikers said the food supplied to us from the police line kitchen is not fit for human consumption. Even cattle would not eat the chapatis and dal which we have to eat. One of the rebellions said that the food that we are provided from police line kitchen is not very fit to eat, and even cattle, mehad bakri, they would not like to to take such a kind of food. Then how can we take? Okay, it is not good for us, hygienic food for us. So these are some important sources that I've shared with you. Now what is your homework? So today I would like to tell you that question number 1 exercise. Now move to exercise question number 1 and question number 2. You have to do only these two questions, okay, and you have to show it to me on your copy. And please send your homework in Google Classroom. Don't send on WhatsApp. And please send your homework in Google Classroom. Question exercise question number 1 and question number 2 is your homework, and do it by now and send it to me on WhatsApp. Oh sorry, not on WhatsApp, send it to me in Google Classroom. So take care about yourself, keep healthy, keep safe, stay at your home with your parents, and take care about yourself. That is my request to all of you. Be healthy and happy, and we will meet in the next video. And now we will practice exercise also, so you are requested to do all these things. Thank you for joining me. Take care.